Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In the video for today, we are going to be discussing the upcoming Pump ICO, which is happening on July 12th. We're going to talk about what the effect of that might be on the meme coin markets. And we also are going to be doing some updates about the community and the future of this channel because, as you guys can see, I'm approaching 4,000 subscribers and I really appreciate all of the support so far. This channel and community have come a long way since I started it in November, and I just want to thank all of you guys who have stuck around and actually applied yourself in the crypto space because I see a lot of you guys thriving now, and that's why I started this thing. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the future of this channel briefly, and then we'll hop into the topic of this video. So if you're in my Discord community, you probably saw this announcement that I posted earlier this week, which basically outlines this idea that I have to make a DAO out of the On-Chain EDU Discord community and also make a hedge fund within the On-Chain EDU DAO where we try and grow our pooled funds as high as we can together. I'm really into this idea for a few reasons, but mainly I think it'll be a great community building exercise. I think it'll make for some great content because we're going to do a series about the actual hedge fund and how we're going to be growing this fund together. And I also think this will be a great tool for education because in my experience, the best way to actually learn about something is by actually doing it and also having skin in the game. And by the way, the goal of this is going to be to actually grow the fund. So we aren't just going to be trading meme coins. We are going to be focusing on all on-chain assets. So I think this is going to be a really fun and interesting challenge, and you guys will be able to see how the fund performs over the next, weeks, months, years. And if you guys aren't in the Discord yet and you want to have a say in what's going on with all of this, feel free to join and go ahead and vote in some of the polls that I have up right now. You can find all of my links here in the channel bio and also in my link tree, which I will post in the description below. But let's jump into the video now and let's talk about the Pump ICO. So if you guys have been keeping up with the space, you probably already know this, but Pump.Fun is releasing a token and it is coming out on July 12th. So basically what you need to know is that there are going to be 1 trillion of these Pump tokens, okay? And this is the actual breakdown as to what each of these tokens are going to be going towards. So as you can see here, 33% will be sold in the initial coin offering, 24% reserved for community and ecosystem initiatives, 20% to the team, 2.4% to the ecosystem fund, 2% for the foundation, 13% to existing investors, 3% for live streamers, 2.6% for liquidity and exchanges. Now, if you're new to the space, you're probably saying, what the fuck does any of this mean? But don't worry, we're gonna break all this down right now. So first things first, with the ICO, the initial coin offering, 33% or 330 billion tokens of that 1 trillion supply are going to be sold. They are all going to be sold for this price, 0.004 per token, okay? And of that 33%, 18% is in a private sale that already has taken place for institutional purchasers, and 15% is going to be available to the general public. All 330 billion of these pump tokens will be sold for this price, and they will be fully unlocked and tradable on July 12th. Private sale is already allocated, so there's only really going to be 15% available to the public, and the US and UK are unable to buy tokens. Okay, so we already know what's going on with the ICO. Now let's talk about the community and ecosystem initiatives. They've already announced that an airdrop is coming soon, so we can assume that a good chunk of this 24% here is going to be coming in the form of an airdrop. We do not know the actual details of the airdrop yet though. Okay, and then 20% is going to be going to the team. We don't know the actual details of this. I'm assuming it's going to be on a vesting schedule, so I'm sure they'll release more information about that at some point. For now, that's really not that big of a concern in my opinion. The existing investors, 13% is going to them. So as you can see, a lot of this supply, 33%, is going to, insiders essentially. Okay, and all these other smaller percentages here are basically going towards other initiatives that they are, using in-house. So live streaming is something that they've been rolling out for a while and pushing pretty hard. They're giving a huge airdrop to people who have live streamed on their platform. Ecosystem fund, they're probably going to be setting up some sort of incentive-based system for people to, continue deploying tokens on the platform or something along those lines. The foundation, they're going to probably be setting up something that, manages or helps to guide the future of the project. And then the liquidity and exchanges is pretty self-explanatory. Now, if you want to actually purchase any of these tokens on the public sale, you're going to have to complete a Know Your Customer verification either on their website or the non-US platforms of any of these exchanges here. So personally, I will not be participating in this public sale. I'm just going to say that right now. And also, if you're in the US or UK, I really don't even think you can, unless, you want to do a KYC and you want to use a VPN on their website. I don't even think you would have access to do it in other platforms. And as you can see right here, they're really making it clear that if you're in the US or UK, you're going to have a hard time doing it. But to be honest with you guys, I would have a hard time recommending purchasing any of these PumpFun tokens. I mean, it's going to be at a $4 billion valuation. There is a lot of the supply going towards the team and, other entities. And then on top of all that, if they do a huge airdrop with this 24%, I would assume the token's price is going to get nuked pretty hard. So all in all, I'm staying away from it, but do your own research and make a decision for yourself. But now let's talk about the potential impact that this coin can have on the entire meme coin space. First and foremost, I think over this weekend from basically Friday to Sunday, July 11th through July 13th, I really think that there are going to be some pretty heavy dips on a lot of these tokens right now that are in the top 100 on Dex Screener. And the reason I think that is because of past experience, right? If you think about some of the other major token launches that have taken place, most notably something like Trump or Melania or Pangu, a lot of people like to dump their smaller positions to gather up liquidity so that they can throw all of it into the main runner, which in this case will be PumpFun. But the interesting thing is that the sentiment right now for the PumpFun launch is not great amongst the community. So that's a big if. I'm not sure if a lot of people are going to be selling their other bags to try and get in on the Pump token launch. I think that the valuation is very high, and I think that a lot of the community is upset with PumpFun based on what they've done in the past with how much Solana they've sold. And on the other hand, the community sentiment for the Bonk Launchpad ecosystem is amazing right now, and those tokens have been absolutely ripping. Most notably, this coin Useless, which I talked about in my last video, is over 300 million market cap now, and it is leading the charge and defining a new meta in my opinion. So personally, I hope that a lot of these tokens get hit really hard over the weekend so I can pile into the Bonk Launchpad tokens and also the Believe Launchpad tokens, because I think all of the attention right now is kind of fixated elsewhere. So I'm hoping over the weekend it'll be the perfect time to strike and build up some bigger positions in the stuff that I actually am looking out for. But another interesting thing to consider here is if they do have a massive airdrop, that means that there's going to be a lot of new liquidity in the hands of meme coin traders, which inevitably will end up in a lot of these coins in my opinion. So if you guys want to know what tokens I'm actively tracking right now, feel free to hop into my WAP community. I called Useless at 8.7 million about a month ago, and obviously it's over 300 mil now. So this weekend, while everybody else is going to be fixated on the Pump ICO, I will be looking for dips on these launch coin tokens and Bonk ecosystem tokens, because I think that is where the value is right now. What's interesting is that everyone right now is ignoring this ICM meta, but Solana itself is actually promoting it. So in my opinion, these are going to get a pretty heavy pump pretty soon. I mean, Solana's official Twitter account just updated their bio and added internet capital markets into it, and they've been shilling it all day. So, to me that says look for some of these launch coin tokens. But all right, that's all I got for the video today. Keep your eyes out for this Pump ICO because we should get some pretty big dips across the board this weekend. Thank you all so much for 4,000 subs here on YouTube. And if you guys want to join my Discord community, it's 100% free and it always will be. The DAO will be opening up soon, and so will the hedge fund. So make sure you're in the Discord for more updates there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and bye.